We must speak them clearly without fear to authority and powers. I play chess, not draft. We must be prepared for shocks.
In a response to President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said government prepared for any tariff shocks that could impact Jamaica. Please make sure to watch the video to the end to hear the PM's full speech. Breaking news, Donald Trump just dropped a 10% tariff on Jamaica, slamming our exports, shaking our economy, and threatening decades of trade deals. And Prime Minister Andrew Holness has responded. But here's what they're not telling you. Jamaica is now in the blast zone of Trump's economic missile. 10% tariffs slapped on like hot pepper sauce. But what does this really mean for Jamaica's fragile economy? And is Holness ready for the storm? By the end of this video, you will understand the hidden consequences that nobody's talking about and why this could shake up Jamaica's trade future forever. So here's the tea. US President Donald Trump went full Rambo on global trade. He dropped a bombshell. Tariffs of up to 49% on nearly 60 countries. And Jamaica, we caught a straight 10% slap across all exports to the US. The timing impeccable. Expo Jamaica was launching. Jamaican businesses were hyped. Then Holness took the mic like a man trying to smile through a thunderstorm. Holness, the government is currently assessing the extent of these tariffs. Translation: we don't know yet, but we're trying to figure it out.
The recent announcement by the United States government of a 10% baseline tariff on imports from all countries set to take effect on April 5th, 2025, introduces a significant shift in global trade policy, one that could impact Jamaica's market access to our largest trading partner. Jamaica have traded with the US under the Caribbean Basin Initiative, which provides non-reciprocal duty-free access for a wide range of products to the US market. Today, nearly 90% of Jamaican exports to the United States enter under these preferential terms. However, the new US tariff regime has raised serious concerns about the future of these preferential arrangements. It is important to emphasize that these developments do not reflect any erosion in the long-standing and strong bilateral relationship between Jamaica and the United States. Rather, it reflects a broader recalibration of US trade policy that is global in scope. Still, we will use every available diplomatic channel, including working with our CARICOM brothers and sisters and utilizing the Office of Trade Negotiations to seek to preserve the positions our exporters have secured over decades of deepening trade ties with the United States. While the government of Jamaica has not yet received formal notification on the precise implementation procedures, including whether these new tariffs will override existing CBI provisions, we are actively engaging with the United States Trade Representative and other relevant authorities to seek urgent clarification. We are also conducting a detailed technical assessment in collaboration with relevant ministries and agencies to fully understand the scope of these tariffs and their implications for Jamaica's trade and industrial policy.
But don't get it twisted. This isn't just about numbers. This is about sovereignty, survival, and strategy. Because when the US sneezes, Jamaica catches pneumonia, and Trump just coughed straight in our face. Now let's break this down. Trump's 10% tariff on Jamaican goods might sound mild. Oh, 10%, I know nothing. Until you realize the US is our single largest trading partner. From bauxite to bananas, jerk seasoning, seasoning to call center services. Everything just got 10% more expensive to sell. And with these new tariffs, the big question is, what happens to our competitive edge? Holness is caught in the classic political chokehold. If he protests too loudly, he risks shaking diplomatic ties. If he stays too quiet, local producers will start screaming bloody murder. So no say Prime Minister Holness have to just, talk with caution and make sure say my filter every word where I say about this 10% tariff where Trump slap on Jamaican exports, or else you better whisper when them attack. Jamaica benefits from preferential treatment under the Caribbean Basin Initiative, but Trump's new tariffs override traditional norms. If these tariffs remain, they'll disrupt the balance of trade. It's like being in a toxic relationship. You get preferential treatment until the mood swings. Now here's where things get juicy. Holness says, and I quote, "There is no deterioration in the US-Jamaica relationship." Bro, Trump just kick over your market stall and you say everything bless. This is some next level diplomatic gaslighting. Either Holness knows something we don't, or he's trying to spin this like a reggae remix of economic disaster. Now let's go into the hidden consequences that the Prime Minister and your favorite mainstream media outlets are not telling you. Do you think Holness is handling this Trump tariff situation properly, or is Jamaica getting played again? Let me hear your replies in the comments. No filters. Let's talk real impact. Here's what Jamaica's now facing. 1. Export price spike. Our products in the US market now come with a 10% markup, which simply means it is 10% more expensive. That's a hard sell in an already competitive market. 2. Investment uncertainty. Foreign investors hate unpredictability, and Trump's tariffs, they're like a political earthquake. 3. Preferential trade at risk. Jamaica's decades-old trade deals may now be under review. What's the point of preferential access if there is a 10% wall waiting? 4. Holness's political headache. The PM has to calm the private sector, soothe diplomatic ties, and spin this like it's not a disaster, all while preparing for potential elections in 2025. So good luck with that, my general. And here's the kicker. This might only be the beginning. Trump's trade agenda is aggressive, nationalist, and unpredictable. So now the question is, will Holness bend, beg, or battle? Will Jamaica find a trade workaround or get trampled under Trump's tariff tantrum? Let me know in the comments. Should Jamaica retaliate, negotiate, or ride out the storm? It started with a tweet. Well, more like a trade nuke. Trump, in a sweeping move, slapped tariffs on nearly 60 countries, including Jamaica, a 10% levy on everything we export to the United States. Let that sink in. Coffee, bauxite, spices, rum, all suddenly 10% more expensive in our biggest market. And while most countries are clapping back, Jamaica's response was to assess it. Holness caught in a tight spot. Prime Minister Holness told the public there's no deterioration in the US-Jamaica relationship. Meanwhile, Trump just lit our trade agreement on fire like it was a bad contract on Shark Tank. Holness at Expo Jamaica. We are currently engaging with trade representatives. Translation, we're trying to call customer service while the house burns. And guess what? This isn't just bad optics. This is real dollars, real businesses, real jobs. You tax Jamaican exports, you kill Jamaican margins. But here's the twist. This isn't just about tariffs. It's about leverage, about global alliances, and Jamaica might be a pawn in a much bigger game. Trump's move is part of his 2025 America First 2.0 playbook, blunt force trade policy designed to pressure countries into better deals or bully them into submission. Meanwhile, Holness is caught trying to play diplomat, economist, and political tightrope walker all at once. So what should Jamaica do? Diversify exports, push CARICOM trade, strengthen regional alliances, and stop being reactive in global politics. The question is, will Jamaica sit at the table or stay on the menu? By the way, this isn't the last trade war, so make sure you subscribe and stay ready, because next time the price might be a lot more than 10%. 10% tariff on Jamaican exports. What do you think this means for the average Jamaican hustling to survive? Drop your thoughts below, especially if you depend on trade. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Trump drops 10 to 49% global tariffs, with Jamaica hit by 10%. Holness responds cautiously, stating Jamaica is assessing the extent. No deterioration in U.S. relations despite new economic pressure. Jamaica's preferential trade status is now in question. Long-term threat to exports, investments, and economic stability. Prime Minister Andrew Holness just responded to President Trump's 10% tariffs on Jamaican exports. The Prime Minister says government prepared for any tariff shocks that could impact Jamaica's economy. Holness, I play chess, not checkers. Well, Jamaica, we say draft. So we are gonna make it here where the Prime Minister have to say in response to President Donald Trump. And trust me, the man, assess on things. Listen up.
This is a new world, an uncertain world, but Jamaica stands on its 2 feet, erect and proud. We will secure our economic independence. And I want every Jamaican to appreciate that. So yes, it is uncertain time. We have done the necessary work. We have built the relationships. We have placed ourselves in strategic positions to be heard and to be heard from and to be consulted. When these changes are going to happen, we know that they could have long-term impact. We started planning long ago. So when you don't hear me say and run out and make statement, because you have a government that is thinking very carefully, very strategically. I play chess, not draft. If it is one thing that you can be certain of for a small, open economy like Jamaica, is that we will have shocks. Things that happen outside of our control. In the past, we used to say it is other people's fault. There are those who believe the world owed us something. That is not my stance. We must be prepared for shocks. We must be able to absorb the hit and recover. We must put ourselves in a position to always be welcomed at the table to negotiate. And where we have our truths and strong positions, we must speak them clearly without fear to authority and powers. And we do it without bombast, hysterics, and hyperbole. And we get the job done.
You hear that? The man say him no need for come out and make no loud noise and no loud talking and exalting self for getting point across. He said when he go in the room, that's where the real negotiation starts. You get it? So he sound pretty confident in himself. Well, as me say, this man is a seasoned politician. 2 term him a do, so in season. You see me, in coming in political charisma. He know how to talk and address the masses. So even if everything I go to hell, the man make you know say, nah man, everything good. You see me? You don't have to worry. But him know, say him can't tell the people the truth because the people cannot handle the truth. truth. And that is why we, the decentralized media, exists. Because we are going to tell you where the PM and the mainstream media outlets will never tell you. You get me? Yes. But that is a very bold statement on the Prime Minister's stance and his response to President Trump. If you were Prime Minister, what would you do in response to Trump's tariff? Best replies might get featured in the next video. If you think that this no have nothing to do with China, this has everything to do with China. So if you did think say America did I go just allow Jamaica to continue do business with China and entertain China along with all of the rest of Caribbean island where I borrow money from China as well, you don't think America just did I go make that slide? This is America's retaliatory action in the form of 10% tariffs on all Caribbean nations before there was a treaty for the Caribbean islands where Jamaica had with America, a decades-long treaty that did not attract any tariffs on all goods exported to America from the Caribbean. There was no tax on the goods. But now, since Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean countries are entertaining China, America been warning and warning and warning. One bag of warning shot, and everybody's like, oh, you can't tell who if it do. Who you Trump, you can't tell who if it do. What we need to understand is the treaty exists. So the Caribbean would have been exempted from this 10% tariff. But since we don't want to play like we know an adult, Trump I got treat you like an adult. You get it now? All along Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean countries where did a tax American goods by 10% because America can afford it. America big, rich and wealthy and powerful. So a 10% on all American imports into Jamaica, that does not hurt or affect America in no way, shape or form. America can weather it. They can shoulder that because they are a giant. Them a superpower. But Jamaica and the Caribbean cannot afford a 10% tariff. We need to understand that 10% is a lot for a small third world economy. So Trump has said, oh, it's reciprocal. No, the treaty prevents or used to prevent reciprocal tariffs on the Caribbean. So you see Trump get more and more aggressive with the Caribbean. Remember Marco Rubio just left Jamaica one day, you know. That was another warning shot. Uno come out and talk about we not tap the business with China and Cuba this and Cuba that. And the Cuban doctors are understandable. You can't tell we say we dash for the Cuban doctors and there is no replacement. Our doctors from Jamaica and nurses are also in American hospitals. That's a brain drain on the Jamaican economy. So you have to understand that Cuban medical program something there. So but the whole China thing, America is drawing the line in the sand. And I said no. The buck stops here. Real talk. Is Jamaica too dependent on US trade deals, or is this just the global game of politics playing out? Reply yes if we need to diversify, or reply no if this is overblown. Don't you find it strange say these tariffs drop right after Marco Rubio left Jamaica and the Caribbean and go back stateside? It's all strategy. This is geopolitical chess. Trump sent Marco Rubio to Jamaica and the Caribbean to once more address the China influence in the Caribbean. So Trump said, alright, you know what, I'll give them one last chance to cut off China, sever all ties with China and Chinese investments. So Rubio go talk to them and hear what them say. Make we try negotiate before we, get too aggressive on them. And when America say negotiate, they actually mean make we see if them are gonna do what we say, and if they not do what we say, we are gonna clap them with some tariffs, cause we don't play nice with them and this whole China entertainment and China take over Caribbean with them billions on top of billions of investment. So Rubio come and, well, Jamaica say, you know, so Jamaica tell Rubio say Chinese play a very important role in their infrastructure development. Alright, cool. So Rubio here wanna say, then leave the Caribbean and go back to America. Now, when he go to Trump and a brief Trump is like, what them I say? Them all cut off China. Rubio is like, well, boss, Jamaica say them operate a free market economy and anybody or any country is free to come and invest in Jamaica. The geopolitical beef where the US and China have, that not have nothing to do with Jamaica. Jamaica say they need the Chinese investment so they can continue to develop their country and their economy with much needed key infrastructures. Trump is like, oh, that then say, alright, cool. Since they no one pledge their undying loyalty to us, next step, yeah, we'll go to the other phase. We're gonna slap a whole of them with a reciprocal tariffs. Remember, you know, up until this point, before Trump running with this aggressive move, 90% of all Jamaican exports into the US market never get no tax. They enter the US tax-free, duty-free, tariff-free. All three words are interchangeable. All three words mean the same thing. Actions speak louder than words. When enough people don't understand this, you cannot be neutral in geopolitics. It's either you're with us or you're against us. And if you're against us, then guess what? We're not gonna show you no special or preferential treatment. You have to pick a side. Jamaica and the Caribbean is stuck between a metaphorical rock and a hard place because we actually need the Chinese investments. All of the highway that we get, we never get them there under the IMF and the World Bank because for them money, you can't use for them money if you do that. So, me no know where Trump expect us to do, but we need the Chinese investments. If we never did get money from China, there would be no highway to the North Coast. There would be no highway from Clarendon to Manchester. And the highway go straight to Montego Bay. Jamaica's economy cannot stay stagnant and backwards forever. We have to progress. We have to go forward. And China is making that happen. We all watch international news. We see how much money America gives in trillions of dollars and billions of dollars to other countries. So if America was doing what China is doing, then we would not need China in the Caribbean. The Chinese investment is a welcome and well needed investment in the Caribbean. If we never need it, we would not take it. The whole long thing where America and the World Bank and the IMF, them depend, we not depend that. We do not think we want to look first world like Uno too. We do not think we ambitious as well. We don't think we want one time we come here, we not drive past some pothole filled road and this and that. No, we want to can drive past smooth highways. So because we are poor third world nations, former slave colonies, we're not supposed to have good roads and highway to drive pan. What? We're supposed to look what? Deplorable and wow, we're supposed to look like the worst because we are former slave colonies. No, it can't work like that. No. We're not depend that. So if we cut off China, we have to replace the loans them. And we already have agreement with the Chinese to build the highway go straight to Montego Bay. So China now go in no time soon. And when it comes to those bilateral agreements, you can't just pull out it like that. I don't think so. There will be consequences and repercussions. So if the US willing to absorb those said consequences and repercussions, we might happen because we are pull out of those bilateral contracts, no problem. If it means that you have to go pay China 10 billion because we are forfeit on the contract, then you have to go pay that for we. That's how you go. But know this, being indebted into or with a country like America, you know, so when they say jump, you have to say how high. Just know that. You now become the economic slave. Just know that. There is no telling them no. There is no giving your opinion. It is their way or the highway. And trust me, you're not gonna like the highway. If you should choose to take the highway, car, you're gonna get punished. Imagine this happened under Portia or Bruce Golding instead of Holness. How do you think the public would react? Let's compare leadership styles. No fighting. Okay, maybe a little bit, but drop your thoughts in the comments.